Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and we got a brand new poster for Ghostbusters Afterlife, as well as a new image of Bill Murray and Paul Rudd, and more updates on exactly what's going to be going on with the franchise moving forward, and some information about this movie itself. So we'll have a look at this because it's interesting. Now, I know a few people aren't quite in love with the poster. There's kind of a bit meh about the poster, but whatever, that is what it is. I like it. But we'll have a look at this. So, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, new look at Bill Murray, and poster released. So Sony Pictures and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire reveal a new look at Bill Murray, who returns as Peter Venkman and has released the first movie poster. The image features Murray speaking with Paul Rudd's Gary Guberson, who returns from Afterlife. The latest issue of Empire magazine has a featured article on the fourth film. So now here's where we get to where this timeline is in terms of the entire franchise. Because originally we started off with Gozer and Afterlife had Gozer. So where are we going now? Well, here's what the director has to say, Gil Keenan. Because the Spangler family story drove the narrative in Afterlife, bringing Gozer back to center stage was a natural way to close the book on the past, explained director Keenan, referencing the big bad from the original 84 movie. But we are now in the post-Gozerian era of the Ghostbusters saga. So that means we're able to stretch out and create an entirely new mythology. And that's thrilling as a storyteller because there are all new and terrifying stakes with fresh visual references to draw on. So he's talking about we are now past all the Gozer stuff. That's done, no more. We're now moving on to bigger, badder threats coming up. And we're going to make new mythology moving forward, which is really interesting. So Keenan also reveals he loves being part of the franchise. I remember there was a moment halfway through the first morning of directing one of the big scenes where I looked at the monitor and just caught myself with the biggest grin ever, says Keenan. Finally, it dawned on me that I was calling action and cut on some of my very favourite characters in movies, working on a big cinematic scale on something that I really cared about. I try to hold on to that feeling. I still have it now, finishing the film. So we'll have a look at the poster if you're looking at it, and it's obviously very Frozen because it's Frozen Empire. Now they're saying the poster features the old and the new. So what they're talking about there is everyone in the red jacket is obviously the new cast. The shadowy figures up in the front on your far right is clearly Peter Venkman, Bill Murray. And then on your far left, the furthest left would be Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stantz. And then next to him, that's kind of in between that shadow figure and the Paul Rudd character, you get Ernie Hudson as Winston Zeddemore. Ecto 1, of course, is in the front, looking great. I love, you can see the ice on the windows and everything. And then right above that, we get this big snake-looking ghoul. This crazy looking thing, which is going to be interesting. Right above that, in the center of what I believe that is the Brooklyn Bridge, isn't it? That is the new big bad. We have no idea what this thing is called, what its name is, where it comes from and whatnot. But that thing is your new big bad. Then of course you can see all the little ghouls flying all around the bridge, all different types. Except there's an interesting one right there to the left of the poster, slightly above the big worm thing, and just to the left of our main villain is none other than the one and only Slimer. Yes, Slimer is returning for this movie. And I wonder if he'll be a friend to the Ghostbusters or whether he'll be very much what he was in the first movie. We know he was kind of like almost a pet in the cartoon. He was pretty much living with them. Probably not that they knew, but he was practically living with them in Ghostbusters too. He was even driving the bus to bring Lewis to the museum, the art gallery. So I like the poster. I think it's an interesting poster. Again, I love that Ecto 1 is very prominent right there in the front. Yeah, and the contrast between the white and kind of the bluey with the red looks great. So then we hear exactly what the movie is about. So, this is what it's about. In Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the Spengler family return to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with the original Ghostbusters, who've developed a top secret research lab to take busting ghosts to the next level. But when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters, new and old, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. And then of course this image of Bill Murray and Paul Rudd, which is down in the containment unit area in the basement of the firehouse. Clearly New York is frozen at this stage. You know, you can see all the frost and stuff on the containment unit. They're both wrapped up in jackets. Venkman's got scarf on, gloves on. You can see two little heaters in the back. And the interesting thing about this poster, and knowing now that New York is basically going to free, is Venkman going to be in this movie a little more than we were expecting him to be? I'm still pretty sure it's going to be a cameo. Like, it'll probably be an extended cameo, but it looks to me a little bit like he's going to be a little more prominent in this movie than we were expecting. You know, I don't see you giving an image like this out if he wasn't, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, all the cast from Afterlife are returning. Bill Murray, of course, is returning. Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts. There was a rumour that Sigourney Weaver was going to make a small cameo in it. That seemed to have been shut down, but that doesn't mean she won't pop up in here. I strongly doubt, but I wouldn't be surprised if people were expecting to see Rick Moranis maybe pop back up in here. I doubt they managed to convince him for a scene, but you never know. It's possible. And now that it's in New York, I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least a name drop off him. It'll be interesting to find out. But there you go. So we are now in the post-Gozerian era. Bill Murray looks like he may have slightly a bigger role than we thought. Brand new poster, which looks pretty cool, showing us that Slimer is 100% back. I'm pumped for this movie. I'm excited. I love Ghostbusters, so I'm excited. But with that, I will leave it there for this one. So cheers. I'll catch you in the next one. And who are you gonna call?